Was he a good kisser?
Very.
You've had some good leading men.
I have,
you?
haven't I?
Yeah.
Can we talk about boarding school?
Oh, if you want. Better have a drink.
Yeah.
I don't think she could really compute what was going on, because there she was with 5 children, 2 dead husbands. How did this happen? She said absolute nonsense and grabbed me by the wrist. I still remember her little hand, her claw around my wrist, and dragged me downstairs, hailed a cab, gave the man 50 francs and said, take her to the theatre. And I got in, so I have everything to thank her for. So the other day I went into one of those places and I said, can I have a pain au raisin, please? And she goes, a what? I go, a pain au raisins.
Hello and welcome to Table Manners. I'm Jessie Ware and I'm here with Mum in Clapham, who's done all the cooking today. Thank you, Mum.
Darling.
How are you?
Well,
I haven't seen you for ages.
No, we haven't seen each other for ages. And I'm just back from Sri Lanka. And I've got to shout out Jane Howell.
Who's Jane Howell?
My new best friend, the American ambassador in Sri Lanka,
stop.
darling. And
You
Theresa
got accosted in a shop.
Mahoney, who is the British High Commissioner.
Oh my
Who are
goodness.
both
Okay.
table manners devotees.
Oh, well, there you
darling.
go.
Yeah, there you go.
Stopping for pics in Colombo.
Stopping for pics in Colombo. We're global, darling.
What are we eating today?
I've made a kind of Vietnamese chicken
Yum.
salad. So it's called crispy butter chicken salad. But it's kind of got a kind of Vietnamese edge to it.
Great.
And I've done some jasmine rice. And then I've made just a little apple cake with some nice creme fraiche, the expensive sort.
Lovely. Well, only the best for a dame.
A dame.
We have Dame Kristin Scott Thomas
Yes.
coming on today to talk about her new film that she directed and wrote and starred in.
Which we've been lucky enough to see.
Yes,
and
My
it's
Mother's Wedding.
wonderful.
Starring Kristin Scott Thomas, Scarlett Johansson, Sienna Miller. It's fantastic. So we are going to be talking to
from
her.
Call My Agent, Le Grand Fromage.
Kristin Scott Thomas, you will know from whether you've seen her on stage,
I saw in The Seagull at the Royal Court, 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Horse Whisperer,
Horse Whisperer.
English Patient.
Now, her best role ever, Slow Horses.
Dame Kristin Scott Thomas coming up on Table Manners. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
You look
I
fantastic.
do feel very welcome.
Do you?
Yes,
okay,
it's
good.
very nice.
Good.
Oh, that's good. You
Just
walked
tucking yourself
in.
in.
You're very happy that you had smelt food.
Yes.
Are you hungry?
Tragic fact of my life is that I'm mostly hungry all the time.
Why is that tragic? It's fabulous.
Yeah.
What have you had for
Being
breakfast?
just boiled egg.
Oh yeah, me too.
Boiled egg and toast.
Any Marmite on there?
Nope, just plain toast. Not even any butter on it today.
Oh God, this isn't sounding very fun.
No. It usually is much more fun than that, but I've got to refrain.
Oh,
Yeah.
But,
Acting.
but I think you're French, really. So
so you
don't
should be having a
always
big
have
slab
lunch?
of butter.
No, I don't always have a big lunch, but I do think lunch is an important thing. And it's a bit of a myth that French people go off and have huge lunches. They often have just a salad or something.
But they often have wine with it, don't they?
Yeah. But then, when I first went to France, I think it was only like in the 70s that they stopped giving wine to children in school canteens.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
What do you think they were giving them?
There would be a carafe of wine on the table for lunch for over 16s or whatever it was. But in those days, wine was a very different product. And for instance, now I don't know what the alcohol content on that is.
Jess. Have you got glasses on?
Is it?
Oh my God, all of us squinting.
Yeah, it's 13%.
Oh,
so
crikey, that's
it
quite
would be much lower alcohol
Yeah.
content.
And they will behave very well.
And
in
they
the
would cut it
afternoon.
with water. But I'm not saying it's a good idea and we should bring back wine at lunch
Maybe
for
we
school
should,
children.
Jess.
But the world's changed,
Did you bring your children up in France?
Yes.
So
My children are all very, very French. I'm half French.
Right.
We're sort of caught mid-channel, really.
I'm really jealous of that because I think it's. I listened to you talking about how. Did you not make it in drama school? Did somebody tell you not to be an actor?
Oh, here we go.
Okay. Is this okay?
This is fine.
Fine.
So basically, I was very young and quite. Now, looking back, I realise quite sort of, I think one would say, traumatised. But I went to drama school and couldn't really handle it and didn't really know what I was doing, and I was very young and I was all over the place and was far from home, and I had absolutely no boundaries. I was just sort of doing any old thing, and I wasn't going to lessons. And anyway, I didn't really want to be there. I wanted to be, important point. I had gone to that drama school pretending that I wanted to be a teacher when I really wanted to be an actor, but I was too scared to say I wanted to be an actor. And so I kind of got in there under false pretenses, and they spotted those false pretenses pretty quickly, and then I got sent off.
Their mistake.
Well, yeah.
But you got sent off, and wasn't it a family friend that told you to go to France?
Yes. My godfather said, no, this isn't going to do. You can't be, because I was working, I did all these jobs, sort of 1 minute I was a waitress, then I worked in Harvey Nicks, then I was just sort of doing things, and I really wasn't a happy person at all. He sort of scooped me up and said, right, you're going here, there's your ticket, you're going to there, you're going to look after those children for a bit. So he sent me off as an au pair. That was the beginning of my life in France.
How old were you?
18.
I can't imagine.
No, I was a bit older than that. I must have been older than that. I must have been almost 20, I think.
But when you just talked about pretending that you wanted to be a drama teacher, and you got found out, and then you kind of got rejected, and that must have been incredibly brutal for a young girl.
Yeah, it was really brutal. It was extremely brutal. And I did not take it well. I wanted to transfer to go to another department, to the acting department, and I'd managed to organise an audition with that acting department. But then the non-acting department, the teaching department I was in, said if you put one foot in what's his name's office, then you'll be out. And so I just sort of gave up at that point. And I remember going in, and I'd made this model of the Globe Theatre, because that was part of what we were doing at the time, and making little models of theatre. It was a really interesting course, to be fair.
Where was it?
Central School. The teaching department was really, really interesting. Learning how to be a teacher was really interesting. You did all sorts of things. It was really, you learned how to be a stage manager, you learned how, child psychology, which really did not interest me at all. I was basically a child myself. The teaching bit I was a disaster at, but I really liked this modelling and making this model, and I went into that room and I was in floods of tears, and I just smashed the whole model. I just took a kind of thing to it and just smashed it to bits and then left.
Wasn't there one kind of like the devil on your shoulder? You were doing the right thing by, they told you if you went into the drama school, then,
Yeah.
But weren't you tempted because you had this
No,
opportunity?
not at all. No,
Did you want to do the right thing or not?
No, I just
disobey?
very, very confused and just all over the place. And luckily there was my godfather who noticed this and took me away from that and put me somewhere else. And the place I ended up au pairing was actually really, really, really helpful and wonderful.
They were really supportive.
Because they were really supportive, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do because I thought it was impossible to be an actress. I just thought it was impossible. I don't know why I thought it was impossible.
But you
I don't know
got
why
into Central. So.
Well, I got into Central as a trainee teacher, so I got everything under false pretenses. So this awful feeling of, and I mean, we all get it, don't we? We all get that feeling of when am I going to get found out? When are people going to find out that I'm a fraud? That I shouldn't be here. I'm sure we all get that feeling, but that was sort of confirmed really when I went to drama school that I was a fraud because I wasn't any good at being a teacher. I wouldn't be able to be an actress because I wasn't allowed to. It was kind of confirmation of my worst fears.
Was it quite mixed then, drama school, or was it mostly middle-class girls? I mean, you've been to
I got such grief for that.
Yeah.
It was like, of course, you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, etc., which, of course, was not the case. The fact that I spoke like someone from the 1950s was what put them onto that.
Yeah.
But anyway... But those days have gone.
Well, and
when I found this wonderful family in France, she had been a concert pianist and had a car accident and ruined her hand. So she'd converted into helping TV shows, because there was an awful lot of sort of cultural television in those days back in France. And she was a sort of link between the camera and the orchestra. So she'd know when you'd have to zoom into the violin and when so she managed to recreate something musical with what she was able to do now. And she had lots of friends who were singers and musicians and actors and directors and really encouraged me. And in fact, when I was about to chicken out of going to my audition for drama school in France, she came to the kitchen and said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "Well, I'm just washing up." And she goes, "Well, I thought you had your audition this afternoon." And I said, "Yeah, but I'm not going to go because there's no point," like this. And she said, "Absolute nonsense," and grabbed me by the wrist. I still remember her little hand, her claw around my wrist, and dragged me downstairs, hailed a cab, gave the man 50 francs and said, "Take her to the theatre." And I got in, so I have everything to thank her for.
Was it more freeing acting in French? Like
Yes.
not being in your...
Yes.
English is your mother tongue, right?
Yeah, my English is my mother tongue. It was, and at the same time it was terrifying. The first year I didn't really say very much. I did a lot of mime. But I discovered a passion for this writer called Marguerite Duras. And I'm ashamed to say that one of the reasons I enjoyed reading her writing so much, and she wrote plays and she wrote novels, and she was a very famous figure in the 70s and 80s. One of the reasons I really enjoyed it, because her sentences are really short, and the publisher, the books they were published in, were very large writing. So it was incredibly accessible, but the thoughts were quite profound and sometimes very complicated. So that's where I got this reputation for being incredibly brainy. Because I was reading Marguerite Duras, but it was simply because the print was big and the sentences were short.
I love
But
that.
I've heard that when you act in France or in French, you've no accent. They can't
not
detect.
quite true. I do have a bit of an
Okay.
accent, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
I think the difference between, in England, we have an obsession with regional accents.
Yeah.
And who belongs where and where do they come from and it sort of bleeds over into foreign. Where do they come from? It's all very mysterious. In Europe, it's much more fluid because people arrive from Spain, or they arrive from Portugal, or they arrive from Germany, or they arrive from Northern Europe. There's much more of a mixture. So people aren't so hung up on the way people speak there. So I know that when I was making films a lot in France, we took the film on to a regional place to do press conferences, and somebody said, was I from the next door town?
Okay.
Because they didn't, couldn't
They
tell.
couldn't tell. But where did you audition for Cherry Moon? In France?
In France, yeah.
Oh, wow. Was
Yeah.
Prince over there?
Yeah, he was there, yeah. Because they were making the film in the Victorian studios down in Nice.
Oh, wow.
So for people that don't know, you were in Prince's film Under the Cherry Moon. Is
It's
it called
called Under the Cherry Moon, yeah.
And you thought you were going just as like for one of the girl parts.
Yeah.
But you got the lead.
Yes.
And you had to snog Prince.
I had to snog
a lot.
Prince. Quite a lot, yeah.
And be in sexy cars with him.
Yeah. I had to do all of that.
And that was kind of like your first acting job, right?
That was my first acting job. Talk about baptism of
Jesus.
fire. I mean, it was
What
amazing.
was he singing then? What was his album out there?
The album that accompanied the film was called Parade. So it was just after Around the World in a Day. Is that the one? The one with Raspberry Beret on it.
Oh, right.
And that's what I had been listening to over and over again on my little Walkman. And that's what I'd been listening to all summer when I was camping in a school, because we were performing a Marguerite Duras play in a field in Burgundy. And suddenly I get this call to go to Paris to go and audition for this man I'd been listening to all summer. I mean, it was all spooky. And I go along.
Was he in the audition?
No. But there were lots of people around a camera, a bit like that. And then suddenly there's a huddle. And somebody pokes his head up and says, "Would you be interested in auditioning for the lead?"
And when did you...
Yeah.
Did you you battered that imposter syndrome away at that point? You were like,
no,
let's
I just
go.
thought, no. The imposter syndrome was very much lurking at all times. But I pushed it to one side and I stepped forward and I said, yes, I would. That was a wild
Amazing.
moment. Totally wild.
Was there real chemistry there?
I mean, we were both really young. I mean,
Right.
he was 24, I was 23. All I could think about was this play that I was doing at the time, which was super intense and great and was a big success. And then suddenly to be in this complete other world of luxury hotels. I'd never even been to a hotel before that.
Oh, wow.
And luxury hotels, and everything was sort of gold and sparkly. And there was Prince, who was actually a real person, not somebody that I'd just been listening to, and somebody in this incredible outfit with these 3 manager people around him. And it was all a bit sort of was very, very peculiar.
Was he quite small?
He's tiny.
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 Was he kind?
Super kind.
Okay.
Yeah, no, really a generous, spirited person.
Did you keep in touch?
But yes, we did. The problem with people like that who are so talented and so extraordinary is there are a lot of people who are protecting that. And so to try to get through this wall of people who, for various reasons, some of them good reasons, some of them less good reasons, want to kind of keep you away. That was a learning curve. I mean, the whole thing was just a mad moment. But we did keep in touch because many years later, I was doing publicity for a film. I think it was Richard III. And I went on a TV show, morning TV, breakfast TV, and you have to get up at the crack of dawn and go along, and they're all being very chirpy and everything's sort of...
Because they've been up since 3.
You know, like this. And it was in New York, and I go on the thing, and they get asked the question, what was your first film? It was with Prince, and I hadn't heard anything from him since then. And then a bit later on in the day, I got a call in the studio where I was having my photograph taken, and there was a bit of a kerfuffle in the studio. Prince wants to talk to you. Oh, I'll just take that.
I love that.
And we stayed in touch since then. But I loved the idea that he was watching Regis and Kathy Lee at 7 o'clock in the morning.
It's like he was like omnipresent, like he was kind of watching over everyone that he admired. Like he was, it seems from what I know, he always had like a knowledge of the people that he admired.
Yeah,
like
he
would
kept tabs on the people that he'd kind of nurtured, I think.
Did you ever go to Paisley Park?
No, I never went there. No. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Disappointing, isn't it?
Was he a good kisser?
Very.
You've had some good leading men.
I have, haven't I?
Yeah.
I've been very lucky on that
Yeah.
front.
We need to take it back to the beginning, though, and your new film that you've directed
called
and
My
written
Mother's Wedding.
Yeah. Can you paint a picture of a scene around the dinner table when you were younger? Who was there and what were you eating?
First of all, there were quite a lot of us. So there were 5 children, and most of the time my mum. But because my father died when I was 5, and then my mother married again, and my stepfather was killed when I was 12. No, 11.
And they were both in...
they were both pilots in the Navy. So they were both either on a ship the other side of the world, or they were in an aeroplane flying on and off ships.
Fleet Air Arm.
Fleet Air Arm, yeah, exactly. And so it was mostly my mum, and then the 5 of us. And I was thinking about this morning. I was thinking, I know exactly where I used to sit. And we had an octagonal table on a pub table base. And I would sit here. My littlest brother would sit to my right, my sister to my left, my mum on the corner there. And I can just still feel that thing. She did a lot of macrobiotic stuff at one point, which was dreadful.
But she was a good cook.
She was a really good cook.
Because you've got your sister did her
recipes. Yes,
yeah.
she did, which was the most wonderful present.
It is a great present.
It's such a great present. So basically, my mother died 4 years ago, and when we were clearing out the house, my sister was adamant that we kept the recipes. And so she collated these recipes and made it into a book. You know, it's very easy to do nowadays. That she gave us all for Christmas. So we've got all our favourite things.
So tell
like
us your
the Granny Findon secret cake and things like this. You know,
tell us. About
I
this.
can't.
Oh, it's secret.
Okay.
It's secret.
Okay. Can you tell us about one that isn't a secret? Please?
She used to make this thing called Egyptian chicken, which was all very good.
Egyptian chicken.
Yeah, with lemon rind and olive oil. And because she travelled a lot.
Yeah.
Because she'd lived in the Far East, and she'd lived in Africa, she'd lived in, and she spent a lot of time in Greece on holidays and things. She was really interested in different flavours and tastes and everything. She was a really good cook. And her mother before that had been a very good cook. And her mother had been I think my granny was a domestic science teacher or something like that back in the day. So yeah, we've always been quite greedy. We've always liked sort of things that were really sort of...
Can you cook?
I used to be able to cook quite well, and I'm afraid I've gone slightly off the boil because I just don't do it enough now.
Do you eat out a lot?
Tends to eat out. At the moment, we seem to be doing that quite a lot, yeah.
That's all right.
In France or London?
In London, we eat out quite a lot, and in France, I tend to cook a lot because that's where I like to cook.
Okay.
Because I really love going just to the market or the supermarket and being able to buy one pair if I want one pair, and that one doesn't look very nice, I can have that one. And I'm going to be brutal about it, but the produce is better in France than it is here, full stop.
So if we were coming round to yours in France...
What would I do?
What would you be making us?
Well, I'd have to ask you whether we eat red meat or not.
Yes, we do.
Okay. I would go to my butcher and I would buy a really simple piece of beef, and I'd cook it. I'm really good at just the right amount of juice inside.
What's the secret?
I think the secret is not getting the pan too hot. I've changed to these metal pans now. I don't use any of those non-stick ones. I used to. Getting it hot, but not too quickly. And then you get then you seize it. You have to press your thumb here.
On the meat?
Yeah,
Well, no, but it's the same
press
consistency
as the meaty bit of your thumb.
That's a good trick.
It's brilliant. That works really, really well.
Okay, and that would be a medium rare?
That would be a medium, rare to medium rare.
Okay, and how long would you let it rest?
A good 20 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Okay.
Oh, so good. And then I would do your green beans, but really nice green beans.
Yeah.
With a tiny little bit of garlic and a bit of grated
shallot,
lemon.
Are you putting in there or
I
not?
love a bit of
Me
shallot.
too.
We always have a green salad, but not one of those. I don't like roquette in a bag. Drives me mad.
Fine.
I like a nice lettuce or a cos lettuce or a batavia or something like that, which has been freshly washed and that tastes really fresh.
Okay.
Because things that sit around in supermarkets just don't taste the same.
And can you tell me what your vinaigrette is?
So I put a spoonful of Dijon in a jar, and then I put about that much
Oil? Vinegar?
vinegar.
Okay, which one?
Well, it depends on what I feel like. Cider vinegar is really good.
Okay.
Really good red wine vinegar. Sherry vinegar is great. And then I use my oil, and either I'm going to use a sort of simple vegetable oil with a bit of walnut or noisette or something like that. That's really good. Or some really good olive oil.
Okay.
And sometimes I put a tiny little bit of honey in.
Yeah.
Tiny little bit of honey in.
No lemon?
And sometimes, no.
Okay.
I don't put lemon in. And sometimes I crush a bit of garlic and leave that in the bottom. But I wouldn't chop it up, but I just squeeze it and leave it in the bottom. And salt and pepper,
Okay, yeah. Quite a lot of salt?
Well, it depends on the mustard.
Do you ever change your mustard to whole grain?
I quite like that, yeah.
There's nothing better than a French vinaigrette, is there?
I think the thing is, some people like it really thick and kind of creamy. I don't. I quite like it thin. And I don't want it all over my leaves. I want it to enhance the leaves, not just sort of completely smother them in dressing. I don't like that.
What's your kids' favourite dish that you make for them?
I think they like it when I make a bourguignon or something like that, which I love to do. Also, I really love roast veal. I know some people feel very sensitive towards that, but in France we don't. I think the secret to all that is not to eat all those things too often and keep them for special occasions. And then, this week I made a big lentil salad.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Puy
that.
lentils or green or brown?
Puy,
Okay.
which are green. But I like using a little bit of bacon. But you can't, it's quite difficult to find bacon in a slab here. You have to buy pancetta.
Yeah, or
I suppose
lardons
they're
you
the
get.
same
Yeah,
thing.
okay.
I don't like the ones that are already
chopped
cut
up. No,
because
you're quite
there's too much
purist.
water
Yeah.
in it.
Oh.
There's always too much water. And it comes out and it's sort of foamy. Don't like that. I can
You know what you
I can
like.
be remarkably unpurist, by the way. But if I can,
No, I like this.
I like that.
So puy lentils with like pancetta or bacon.
a carrot, a little bit of celery, tiny little bit of celery, that much celery chopped up, and an echalot with a clove stuck in it, and then some herbs if you.
I love that. My mum makes one like that,
And then when it's still warm, I put a really good, this time a thick vinaigrette over the top. So good.
Oh my God,
Yummy.
that's delicious. So back to your film.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All-star cast.
All-star cast.
You must, make a good impression on set because...
Well, you know what? I had these three... Well, I'm talking about the women who play the daughters in the film. I play the mother.
Yeah.
They play the daughters. The film in the beginning was going to be called Who Art in Heaven, a sort of reference to the missing father.
Right.
And then, for various reasons, it was changed to My Mother's Wedding.
Okay.
The three women who agreed to play my daughters are Scarlett Johansson, Sienna Miller, and Emily Beecham. They're completely different types of actresses.
Yeah.
And utterly brilliant, all three of them.
They had real chemistry together.
Incredible
It was beautiful.
chemistry.
It was really beautiful.
It's like an instant sort of sisterhood. It was extraordinary. Scarlett is one of the most generous and reliable and fabulous actresses who I've known actually since she was 11.
Yes, Horse Whisperer.
Yeah. Yes. I love the calls from.
I remember reading that when we were on holiday in Wales, Mum. It was like, it must have been in the 90s. When was it written?
It was I think it was written in, 92, 93,
Yeah, and I think
like
I
that.
was reading it by like when I was maybe 11 or 12, probably 10, 11.
Yes.
And when did the film come out?
I think, oh God, I don't know, 90,
It was such a hit, wasn't it?
98, 99, something like that.
We were with Robert Redford as
It
well.
was, yeah. Lovely man.
Yeah, I bet.
So beautiful
So beautiful.
that whenever he kind of walked into the room, everyone would just go, and when he went in front of the camera, by accident, he'd wander
Yeah.
across to go and move a prop or something. Suddenly you'd like be at the movies.
Wow.
He was incredible.
Wow.
He's such a good actor as well. I mean, he was great. And a really great director. I loved working with him. That was amazing.
But back to Scarlett. She
Back to Scarlett.
She was back.
And
You've
she
worked
was my
together
daughter.
3 times, haven't you?
Yeah, that was the 3rd time. The moment Scarlett agreed, and she agreed so quickly, she read it and said, yep, I want to do this. And from then on, it was just everything kind of fell into place. So I will be eternally grateful for her fast reaction. But the problem was we had a very short window because she was going off to do something else. She was going off to do Jurassic Park.
Right.
And I was going off to do More Slow Horses. So we had this very short window in which we would be able to make the film. And I'd really written that role for Sienna because I'd always thought of Sienna for that role.
For the movie
For the
star.
Victoria, yeah.
Yeah,
Victoria
and
the
she
movie
is
star.
fantastic in it.
She's so funny, isn't she?
She's really fun. She's sexy.
Yeah.
She's brilliant as
Yeah,
it. Like,
she's
it was
great.
really fun.
Yeah. And then Emily is an actress that I'd admired for a few years because she has such an amazingly sort of face that you can see through, in that you can see all the emotions just like clouds over her face. And I just love that and was very happy when she accepted to play the youngest of the sisters,
Georgina.
who's called Georgina.
But this is based on your childhood of losing 2 fathers.
The nub of it
Yes.
it is autobiographical
Yes.
in that sense, is that what Catherine and Georgina and Victoria went through is something
sisters, yeah.
what is exactly what I went through.
Sorry,
It-
I think
Wow,
Wow.
Mum. That looks amazing. No, that looks amazing, Mum.
That looks delicious. It smells so good. Those herbs are lovely.
Oh, Mum, it looks beautiful.
I've made crispy
help with that?
butter chicken salad, but it's kind of basic Vietnamese, I think.
Oh, how lovely.
There
There's
is-
a lot of Vietnamese cooking in Paris.
Yeah, I'm probably not as good as them. But all the ingredients seem
perfect,
quite
Mum.
nice.
This is so good.
Oh, please help yourself to a lot.
Can I give you some rice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's masses of chicken there.
Yeah, lovely.
Back to the film.
Yeah.
These 3 sisters I've heard you talk about, they kind of represent you in different. You've got the movie star, you have the daughter Katie Frost, who is, honouring her
Overachiever.
father's overachiever, honouring her father's
Obsessed
legacy.
with keeping everybody together.
Yeah. And then you have Georgie, who is, the caring kind of
Perfect mum.
perfect mum having a bit of a shitty time.
Yeah.
But which bits of the sisters are you? I mean, obviously the film star I can see.
Well, it's difficult to talk about that because
Okay.
obviously every single thing that you ever do as a creative person,
Yeah.
your own sort of soul filters through. That's the point.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for me to say which bits. But, I mean, basically what I've just said is that I, for a very long time, because I was the eldest daughter and because we were, facing quite a lot of emotional difficulty, I felt that my job was to sort of keep everyone happy, keep the thing moving along. Terribly bossy, apparently. I didn't know that, but ask any of my siblings and they will tell you that.
Okay.
There are lots of us. We as a family, we were 5. So I felt that sort of slightly overachieving, and I've got to get it right, and I've got to do this. And I think that Catherine sort of represents that part, if you like.
That's Scarlett Johansson.
That's Scarlett Johansson. And then the role played by Sienna Miller, who's the flighty actress, is also part of me and part of the wanting to please, want to be loved by everybody. You know, so the Catherine Clifton part doesn't give a damn what anyone else thinks about her. She's just forging ahead, making sure everything. And the Sienna Miller role, the Victoria, she is the opposite. She wants everybody to love her and the rest of it. And Georgina just is trying to have a normal life with these very extravagant sisters.
I think my favourite scene in your movie was when your husband that you're marrying sings a song to you. It felt so much like European cinema. That part, it felt like kind of like an Almodovar film. But it felt more European. Do you know what I mean? And I really loved it was incredibly tender and beautiful.
It's really sweet, isn't it, that
It was a beautiful moment.
Is he based on your husband now?
No. James Fleet played my brother in Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Yes, the bumbling.
And then he played my husband in the Three Sisters. And then he played my husband again. So anyway, they're not based. It's all fantasy. People say, "Is this really your mother?" No, I wish I wish my mother had been like that. You know, sort of.
Was she glamorous, your mum?
My mother was incredibly beautiful. I wouldn't say she was glamorous. She was incredibly beautiful. She had a certain style, I suppose, but she didn't have any money to be glamorous. Do you know?
Can we talk about boarding school?
Oh, if you want.
Well, it's
I better have a drink.
Yeah. Well, you've talked about, you get this horrendous news that your father has passed away.
Yeah.
And you're kind of sent back to boarding school.
Yeah.
Because that's just how it was. And, your mum was keen for you to remain in boarding school because it was a great school. Mm-hmm. But there was maybe a fear about being allowed because your father was he was no longer with you. And I don't know whether it was subsidised or the fees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she went to desperate attempts for you to get a great education. How was boarding school for you?
Well, it was really tough. It was just bad timing, basically. When I first went, it was just after my mother's second wedding. We'd been bridesmaids at this wedding, and then my stepfather was sent to sea. So, and my mother moved with him down to wherever he was posted. And it was deemed that it was a good idea to put us into boarding school. So daddy dies, mummy gets married to someone else, and then you're plonked in a boarding school, which was perhaps not the best idea. But
how old were you?
I was 8. My sister was 7.
Okay, right, okay.
And the nuns were completely adorable. And I think about these nuns and my sort of heart swells because they were so, so sweet. They weren't wicked, nasty nuns at all.
So
they
you had the
completely adorable.
House type, the good ones.
They were really, really lovely. Sister Marceline was my favourite. I mean, Sister Marceline, I have a memory of Sister Marceline. I got measles or something, and I had a terrible fever, and I was put into sick bay, and my mother was miles and miles and miles away, couldn't come. She was sent for, but it took, a few days for her to get there. And this was a long time ago. We're talking like 69, 70. I woke up in the middle of the night, and there, lying on the floor, was the nun who'd taken off her veil. But she was fully dressed, but she'd taken off her little bonnet underneath. But she was lying on the floor, making sure I was all right.
That's very kind.
I can never forget that. So, and then on Thursdays, we'd have our hair washed. It was anyway, it was what it was. And then when I went to my secondary school, I was very proud to be able to go there because my mother had been there. And I was very excited about it all. But then at the end of my first term, my stepfather was killed. And so that was tough. There was no pastoral care, so to speak, of in those days. I mean, boarding schools are not the same thing as they were in the 70s.
They go home most weekends, don't they?
Yeah, we didn't. It was every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're little.
So it was, I was little and it was tough.
But she thought she was doing the best for you.
Well, actually, I think the second time around, she didn't have any thoughts. It was just like she could not, I don't think she could really compute what was going on. Because there she was with 5 children, 2 dead husbands. How did this happen? She's 33, how does this happen? And it just seems so unfair. Life isn't fair. You keep hearing that. No, life isn't fair. Get on with it, But that was a really bad...
Was he your dad's best friend?
He was a great friend of my father's.
Okay.
He was going to be my sister's godfather, but they changed their minds at the last minute. They gave the job to someone else.
Okay, so he was very close. Your mum has always known him.
I've known him for a long time, yeah. He was a really lovely person. Can you imagine taking on 4 kids that aren't yours? So that is the true bit in the film.
When is it coming out? Is it?
At the end of May.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Are you writing anything else? Oh, good.
Trying to. No, that's
I'm
good.
absolutely loving this. This is my heaven.
Is it?
It's not very good for the old
Quite
herb in
spicy.
teeth.
It's quite
Herb in
spicy.
teeth.
So we'll have to all check with each other. But we don't have a bit of mint. Yeah, you're all right.
Is that fennel in there as well?
No.
No, what's this?
It's white
Cabbage?
cabbage.
Oh.
There's white cabbage, red onion, julienne, carrots and cucumber. And then there's coriander and mint. And then you make a ginger and chive oil.
Ginger and chive.
Yeah.
How do you do ginger and chive oil?
Heat the oil quite high, and then you put in chopped ginger and chives, and that's the chive oil. And then you let it go cold.
You cool it.
Yeah.
So it's infused.
Yeah. Good.
So good.
Really nice.
Good.
Yeah, you see, if I'd fed you, you'd all be asleep under the table because it would be so...
Heavy. Well, I just thought you won't eat heavy food.
Do you know what I really love as well?
What?
Is endive. Do you know what I mean by endive?
love
The
endive.
white vegetable
Yeah.
thing. I don't know whether it's roasted.
Braised,
Braised,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I like braised.
So good.
That's a good idea. We've never done braised endive.
Who would like some apple cake?
Me.
Good.
Yes,
And I
please.
bought this fancy pants stuff because I thought you'd like it. It's
that looks very
Lovely.
Let's talk about France and you
Yes,
as an au
please,
pair.
Yes.
Were you having to cook for your kids?
Yes, I had to cook for the kids.
And
they
were
were
you
very
good?
worried because I was English.
How rude.
I know. These children had to have soup in the evenings. So I had to make all these different soups.
So you're good at soup.
Why did they have to have soup?
I don't know, it was a French rule. I don't know. That French rule in that family.
And did you have
They
good...
weren't entirely French, actually. They were half German.
Oh, okay.
So they might have had a bit...
Maybe the soup came from the
soup,
German
yeah,
side.
Might have done. A potage.
Potage. Did you have goûter as well?
A goûter, yes, definitely have a goûter.
Was it always Nutella?
No, it's always, in that family, it was because you can buy a pain au raisin like you can in the bakers here. A pain au raisin, a pain au chocolat.
pain au raisin,
A
okay.
pain au raisin
Yeah.
or a pain au chocolat.
Yeah.
So the other day I went into one of those places and I said, can I have a pain au raisin, please? And she goes, a what? I go, a pain au raisins. Yes, she got that. Anyway, so what they do in France is they get a baguette because the bakeries in France cook very early in the morning, and then and then they shut after lunch until 4:00, and then they do a new batch for the evening, because baguettes, as you will have found out, don't last more than about a blink.
Yeah.
And what you do when you're a mummy in France is you go to a baker, you buy a baguette, you chop it into pieces about that long, and you shove a bit of chocolate in the middle. And that's what French kids have.
Fab.
So it's sort of deconstructed pain au chocolat.
Do you think being in France from such a kind of young age informed your taste buds
Definitely.
hugely? Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Did you pine for anything from the UK?
Yeah, I did. I used to pine for Marmite, but then you know, I'm mostly in France in the good old days of the EU, so I could get most things, and they used to have a certain department store.
Which passport do you have?
I had both. I'm
This
not quite
is
sure.
delicious.
This
Is
does
it?
look good, yeah.
It's got a saltiness to it. It's really good.
Oh,
Mum.
yeah, yum.
Whose recipe is this?
Melissa Clark.
Clark.
Oh, I like Minister Clark. New York Times. No.
Do you have
it's a good app.
It's a
isn't
good
it?
app.
Yeah, very good. And there's an old-fashioned American food critic called Patricia Wells, who wrote about bistro cooking in the 80s or 90s. And that book is my Bible. It's fantastic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's great.
I feel like it's time for the Last Supper. You're going to a desert island with your Louboutins. Louboutins.
Louboutin.
Louboutin. She's
Dun,
put
dun, dun.
in her desert island dish. She did Louboutin as her luxury item.
Totally useless.
In the sand.
Exactly.
What would be your Last Supper before you go to that desert island for a very long time?
Okay.
Starter, main, pud, drink of choice.
Either those delicious Spanish anchovies on brown bread.
The Ortiz.
Oh, yum.
No. I can't really tell you the name of them. They come in a blue tin.
Is that a secret? Oh, no, it's not a secret. It's just you don't know it.
They come in a blue tin and they're very difficult to find. and they're salted.
I thought that was orchis, but
No, it's something else. Orchis is very good, but it's not.
I
it's
know
not
exactly the ones you mean.
dark blue jar.
Yeah.
Or they either come in a sort of Kilner type jar or a tin. Anyway, those are brilliant. Just on a piece of brown bread.
With butter?
Brown rye bread.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, it's so good. As my main course, I'd probably have a veal chop with some lovely mushrooms, and then I would have a nice glass of Burgundy, but I don't really mind as long as it's nice.
Any greens on the side?
Oh yeah, lots of greens.
Okay.
Love broccoli, obsessed with broccoli. Love cavolo nero. I also really like plain old Savoy cabbage.
Me too. No, I like
Just sweated with a stock
Butter.
cube and a bit of butter.
Yeah.
Caraway seeds?
Lovely.
I like sweetheart cabbage better because it's
A bit sweeter, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
What is hispy cabbage? Is that
It's
sweet
quite the
yeah.
same thing, isn't it?
I thought
Yeah,
it
I think
was.
so.
Okay.
And then I want cheese.
What's on your
which
cheese
is your
board?
best cheese?
Stilton. A really good dry piece of cheddar. You know, the really crumbly kind.
A bit crunchy?
Is it crunchy?
I don't know. You know, when I've got the
Yeah, it's
crystals.
just got the
that's really good.
crystals in.
Really like that. And I would have a Mont d'Or. And a Mont d'Or, there's only a very short season for them. It starts on the 15th of September. That I know.
Are you going to have a sweet thing after your cheese board?
Yeah.
What are you going to have?
Chocolate.
I have just discovered. No, I've gone off chocolate.
Have you?
Don't know why. Either a lemon, sort of a really good lemon, thick, eggy, yolky, yellow, strong yellow tart with a nice flaky base. Or I have just discovered the most amazing Basque cheesecake shop.
Oh gosh.
Where? Is anyone allowed to know?
It's called, it's got one of those funny Marek-Sue or something.
Where is it?
There's one in Soho, there's one in sort of Paddington.
And you'd have a big slab of
so
Basque
good.
Do you
cheesecake.
know Nigella makes it with licorice sauce?
Oh,
Basque
that's
cheesecake.
good.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, that's a strong
It's
last
very
supper.
greedy, basically.
Why is it greedy? It's not greedy. It's quite heavy.
Yeah.
I like that,
And then we
though.
go and have a sleep.
Yeah.
Then you go and have a walk, because it's always good to walk after you've eaten. And then you go and have a little snooze in front of the football.
You can walk home.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, can you give us a nostalgic taste that can transport you back somewhere?
When we cleared out my mum's house, we found jam that was positively museum worthy. It was so
Vintage.
vintage, like 2004 or something. And she had made the most amazing marmalade with using apples. Because, you know, I always put apples in jams and things like that because it's great for setting them. But she used more apple than technically necessary. And it was so good. The mixture of apple and marmalade, you know, bitter oranges, was absolutely delicious. And that, if she could be here to make me some more of that, I would be so happy.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
it's been such
Thank
fun.
you.
Oh,
You
wish
are
could
a
come
great
back
guest.
just to be able to.
You can always come back. And thank you so much
Whenever
for
you
being so
want.
open and telling us such
Yes,
fantastic
lovely
stories.
I'm so glad you enjoyed the film.
We really did.
did.
And congratulations on that. Thank you so much
It's
for
been
being
an
here.
absolute pleasure.
Such a
Enjoy the
pleasure.
theatre later.
Thank you very
And good
much.
luck with my mother's wedding.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Coming.
you. Kristin Scott Thomas, very classy lady.
They say don't meet your idols, but I have now, and she was gorgeous.
Off the mic, she was talking about being the proudest grandmother
Yeah.
and showed us pictures of her grandchild.
I know, gorgeous.
Very
little boy.
proud.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on and being really open, and she loved the food. The food was banging
Was
today,
it,
Mum.
darling?
Oh my God, that could be on my last supper, that kind of meal.
Really?
Yeah. Thank you, Kristin Scott Thomas, for coming on. Thank you for quite a heavy fab last supper. Veal chop, I don't think we've ever had.
No. But she's French, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well done, Mum, because I know your hip's still not great, is it?
Not great.
But you just do it, don't you?
Because I'm a trooper, darling.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week for more table manners with a
Jessie,
nut.
I need to say something.
Oh, what?
I'm never going back to an ordinary creme fraiche.
Oh, right,
It's
okay.
changed my life.
Okay, public service announcement. Okay, sure. We'll see you next week for more table manners.